Hello, I'm Greg Rutke of Rutke Mods, and welcome to another special episode where we are at Jay's house. Today's episode is going to be a very feature-packed episode where we're going to be covering all of my new Macs once again, and also a lot of other things that we did in the video, including Jay fixing my new MacBook Pro and me flashing his SATA card. So let's get going.
Rutke Mods.
So first off, we're going to start off with two iMacs that Jay gave me. And they're both very similar in appearance, but they're not the same iMac, trust me. First off, we have the late 2005 iMac G5. This is a 20-inch with eyesight, and it is running a 2.1 gigahertz PowerPC G5. And currently it's got 512 megs of DDR2. Uh-oh. The onboard RAM went bad, Jay. That might have been the problem the whole time.
That would explain a few things.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, okay, guys. So, this computer's been having a few problems. These things come with 512 megs of onboard RAM also. And it has been displaying a lot of problems, like it takes forever to boot up and stuff. And I immediately said it's got to be a RAM problem. So when we took out the original extra 512 of DDR2 that was in it to have the onboard RAM just run, it ran fine. And then it started having problems again. And we tried the other RAM again, and it ran fine again. And then it started having problems again. And this time we got it to boot up, and this is literally the first time I've looked at the specs since we put the other RAM back in. And there's no onboard RAM now. So this system, it's now saying it's the onboard RAM, which can't be right because it says DDR2, and onboard RAM, it doesn't report the DDR2. So something's very wrong with this system, and I think it's something to do with the RAM, because I put that RAM in.
Did you?
Yeah, I put it back in. That's a problem. But anyway, so currently the system's running. We did have some problems with it, like I said before, but between the fact that it doesn't like to boot and stuff, it also has problems going into sleep mode, so I literally left it on so we wouldn't have to have worries about it booting up again. So that's why the screen was already on and stuff. So anyway, that's the specs of this system. It's going to take a lot of work. Jay actually had torn this system down before about a year ago, was it?
Yeah.
And cleaned it and got it all nice and working. Nice and working.
Apparently not.
And it's got a few other problems. The FireWire ports apparently don't work, and he's too lazy to take it back apart. And I don't blame him because it's going to be a pain to take it apart again. But anyway, so there's the first system. Now we'll head on over to the Intel system. This is an early 2006 iMac, 20-inch, and it's in sleep mode currently. The screen's a lot dimmer than the G5, and it's got a few issues with it. I think it's just overheating some. It's got, for instance, some graphical glitches and stuff. This thing hasn't been cleaned yet. Where'd you get this, Jay?
I forgot.
You forgot?
Yep.
Okay, so he forgot where he got it from, but he's apparently had it a while and never did anything with it. And if we go into the specs here, we have a 2 gigahertz Core Duo, not a Core 2 Duo. This is the 32-bit CPU. And this system can be upgraded to a Core 2 Duo and can run Lion and even Mountain Lion with the hack unofficially. But right now it's running Leopard because these both are literally running the same install from the same install stick. And if we go into more details, you know, we can go in, that's the specs there. All the memory is working, and it's maxed out with RAM already, which is nice because then I won't have to buy any. But you know, everything's working. The display, you may see some glitches and stuff later, but other than that, it seems to be working fine. And these two systems right here, we're going to be doing a video about comparing them eventually, and the performance difference between just two models, late 2005, early 2006. This is one of the rarest iMac G5s they ever made. They only made these for 3 months. Extremely rare, and these are the most reliable and most powerful. They don't even suffer from the iMac G5 cap plague, which plagued all the rest of the G5s. So that's a good thing. The power supply and motherboard will never probably need capped, I hope. But this system here, it's not quite as nice in my opinion, because you've got a 64-bit system here and then a 32-bit system, which is odd. I don't know why Apple decided to do that. They could have waited a little bit longer and made sure they had Intel CPUs with 64-bit, like the late 2006 ones had that were identical to this. But anyway, that's a little drawback there. But, you know, it's an Intel system, which means this would be able to run Boot Camp and stuff, so you can run Windows on it. But other than that, the very last thing we're going to do with these two systems before we go on to the next thing is we're going to run a Geekbench 2 benchmark here. And the G5 will be running the 64-bit. Why isn't this coming up? Okay, the Intel just crashed. Relaunch. That one crashed. Relaunch. There we go. Yeah, this is a very sound operating system, isn't it? I have not updated this to 5.8. This is still running 5.6, fresh from the install. So yeah, there is a few problems. But anyway, these are fully activated copies of Geekbench. Basically, let's just let the benchmarks run and see what comes out on top. So let's go. Intel's pulling ahead. Now, with the Intel pulling ahead, that's still not a full sign there, because it's still 32-bit compared to 64-bit. But 2 cores versus 1 core also, so that does make a big difference. Wow, it's really pulling ahead.
Seriously.
Wow.
I did not expect that.
I didn't either.
Whoa.
Okay, so the Intel's already done. I wasn't expecting that, Jay.
No.
And the G5's still running. The Intel's gotten 2543. And we'll just let the G5 do its thing. We might have to speed this up.
I honestly thought the G5 had a chance to beat this thing.
Well, I've already seen the first run we ran on it, and my MDD outdoes it. Your MDD outdoes it. Your MDD slaughters it.
Doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
What's my MDD score?
13 something? No, 15 something?
Huh. Oh, there it is.
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah, the systems are done now, and as we can see, it was, I guess, a good thing that Apple went to Intel, but, you know, PowerPC is still more fun. As we can see, it was a big difference. You realize you've left the light on the whole time you've been filming the screens?
Nah, it doesn't matter.
Well, it probably helps with the poor backlight on this one. But, yeah, so the integers, 950 versus 2037, floating point 1516 versus 3922. The memory performance is similar, but that's because this is either running on, well, they're both DDR2 either way, so they run the same similar RAM. This runs desktop RAM, this runs laptop RAM, but they're both DDR2. A lot of memory problems with this one, but still. And then streams performance wasn't too far off either, but that's also with memory. So the CPUs were way different. Even though this is 64 versus 32, that's PowerPC versus Intel. It's a very, very shocking result. I actually thought the G5 would keep up with it.
Me too.
So, well, anyway, so that's the first group of iMacs that Jay gave me, the first Macs. So now on, we'll go on to my next Mac here, and we'll set all that up and get to it. Okay, so before we go on to the next Mac, I thought we'd first cover this right here. If you remember episode 2 of season 3 of the PowerPC series, I broke this card trying to overclock it. And Jay successfully repaired it and overclocked it. And if you can, I don't know if this is going to show up in the camera. Am I squared up?
Yeah.
If you can see these traces right here, Jay managed to fix all of that over in there and did a wonderful job at it. This card was originally a dual 1.25 with 1 megabyte of L3 cache. Now it's a dual 1.42 with 1 megabyte of L3 cache. And Jay even did a blog article on it at the House of Moth, link in the description. And this is a very interesting article to read. He basically tells you how to overclock an MDD card and all the settings and jumpers you'd have to set up. Very interesting read. You guys should go check that out. Thank you, Jay, for fixing this. So anyway, next off, we're going to go over to these two MacBook Pros here. These are both technically my MacBook Pros. This is the working one. This is the not working one. Backstory. I'm trying to think what I'm saying now. Backstory. Dylan Disselkoen from Disselkoen LLC had two broken MacBook Pros, and he sent them to Jay to fix. And basically, Jay tried to fix them. He managed to fix one. He bought that one off of Dylan, and then this one ended up being mine. Thank you, Jay. He couldn't figure out for the life of him what was wrong with the logic board. He went through everything, replaced a ton of caps and God knows what. And there didn't seem to be anything wrong with the system. So that's where this system came in. SellYourMac.com has a parts eBay site where they also sell parts systems and various accessories and stuff. SellYourMac.com sold me this for a very good deal. I'm not going to tell you the prices of these, but I'll tell you the grand total at the end of this segment. But this system was basically just a logic board and a broken keyboard and a working monitor, and that's it. And I got a great deal on it. I only bought it for the logic board, and I'm going to be giving the rest of this to Jay. Here, Jay!
Thank you, man.
But anyway, so we're going to now watch a quick video of Jay. It's a time lapse of Jay swapping the board from that MacBook into this case. This case is completely equipped. It's a fully functional MacBook Pro. It's got 4 gigs of RAM in it. And as you'll see in the video, it's also got a 1,1 Mac Mini hard drive, which was the only hard drive I had laying around. It will eventually be getting an SSD and 16 gigs of RAM. But it's currently got an 80 gig Mac Mini 1,1 hard drive held inside of it with Q-tips, which you'll see in the video. We didn't have any mounting hardware. But other than that, here's the system. Let's quickly watch that time-lapse video and then we'll get on to this. So let's go. Okay, welcome back. So now we're going to show you my mid-2012 MacBook Pro 13-inch. It's a i5, which is what, the 2.5 gigahertz?
Yep.
And it's fully functional. We installed a fresh install of El Capitan on it. You might want to turn the light off. Okay, so if we go over to About This Mac, here are the system specs currently. And I'll tell you what the price is. The grand total, this whole cost me, after the two combined, buying this from Dylan and buying the other system from SellYourMac.com, this system cost me around $287. Very, very good deal for a fully functional MacBook Pro. And this thing's got some great specs. Other than the DDR3 and the really awful hard drive in here that's so slow that I left it in sleep mode because otherwise it would take like an hour to boot up. But other than this really slow, I think it's like a SATA 1 speed hard drive, yeah, it works great. And everything works in it. The battery's almost fully charged now. It was flat when we first got it. And the system had been sitting, the sticker on the bottom says it had last been sold in early 2016, so it's been dead for a long time probably. So the battery hadn't been charged in over 2 years. But it is working now, it's at 99%. I actually haven't looked at how many cycles are on the battery. We're about to find out. Where's power? You see power? Here it is. It has 60 cycles on it. It's a brand new battery, basically. Yeah, this battery will not need replaced for a very, very long time. So that's awesome. Awesome. Okay, so that's my third Mac, and the last Mac we'll be covering. But before we wrap up the video, there is one last thing that we are going to show you here, and it is this. Jay's SATA card. PC SATA card, which I flashed and I did a quick time-lapse video on, which we'll watch right now. Okay, welcome back. Anyway, so as you saw me flashing that, this card should be Mac compatible now. We haven't tested it yet. We are going to be putting it in Jay's sawtooth right here. This isn't just a normal sawtooth. This has a, what is it? A
1.4.
A 1.4. I thought it was a 1.6.
Now I'm not sure.
Well, we'll find out when we turn it on. But anyway, it's got either a 1.4 or 1.6 Sonnet G4 in it. And we'll be sticking this in here and booting a SATA drive off of it and seeing what happens. So let's get to it. Alright, so here's Jay's sawtooth here. We've got the SATA card installed. Now Jay wanted me to mention a very interesting feature about the sawtooth board. It was only on the sawtooth board. Now like I said in the past with my gigabit Ethernet, this is basically the same board, except the gigabit Ethernet had, of course, gigabit Ethernet, and it also had ADC. This is a Radeon 9000 ADC card. Of course, it doesn't have ADC power, so the ADC port doesn't technically work. But it of course still works as a DVI card. Anyway, so the real big difference between those, other than those two features, is sawtooths had an internal FireWire port, which is a really weird design. And Apple, in their marketing pamphlets and stuff, would advertise it as having 3 FireWire ports, and then in brackets it would have 1 internal. It's like, well, why do you want to plug a FireWire port on the inside of the system? That kind of defeats the purpose of having it. But anyway, getting to the point. So the system's all set up. We haven't booted it up yet. So basically, I'm going to let Jay explain to you and start everything up. So you're off, Jay.
All right. Okay, so we got the SATA card that Greg flashed right here. Connected an old, I don't know how old, but pretty
July
old.
2008.
Yeah, pretty old hard drive that I used to test PowerPC Macs with, and see if it works.
Well, first explain the weird fan setup here.
When I got this, it didn't have a fan on it. You can see the mounting holes on the side, but I didn't have a fan. And because the hard drive is not screwed in place, I don't want to close the lid and mess everything up. So, pretty external fan to do the job for us.
And it's USB powered.
Yes. State of the art right there.
Alright, so far up, Jay. Fingers crossed. Found the drive really quick.
That might actually be faster than it did inside the quad.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, the quads take a long time to post because of the RAM amount and how much power is the G5. It's got to, calculate all that stuff before it boots.
You gonna speed this up?
We could.
Okay. Well, looks like you don't have to.
Yeah, that's pretty quick.
Alright, this is gonna hurt. Oh!
Of course you don't have a working battery.
What else do you expect?
Oh yeah, it does hurt.
Alright, so to settle this debate first, it is indeed a 1.6 gigahertz.
Woo! I got it!
You know my specs better than I do.
Yeah, it's sad. Is your phone ringing?
No, my Mac is ringing.
Oh, okay.
There's nothing I can do about it because you made me film this. So. Alright, we have PCI cards.
There we go, that's the SATA card.
2-channel SATA.
Yeah. Of course, it's very apparent it worked since that's the only drive plugged in.
Yeah, but
it worked!
Well,
it's not under SATA. For some reason, it only shows up under ATA, but trust me, it is a SATA.
That's weird.
Yeah, it is really weird.
500 gig.
Yeah.
So.
And that's another thing about this, guys. With another card, because these boards, any Mac made before early 2002 had a 48-bit, I think, limit on the IDE bus, which means that they didn't support big drives. So basically, it only supported up to 128 gigs. But with another card, you can bypass that and put up to at least a 2 terabyte drive in the system. And right now we have a 500 gigabyte drive in the system. It booted right off of it. It works great. So.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Looks like the sawtooth is ready to go.
Yeah, now you can start gaming on it again.
Oh no. No.
No.
I got the MDD for that, man.
That's true, you do. Okay. So, we'll put this stuff away and we'll wrap up the video. So anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video today. It was a very eventful day. We had a great time doing all this, setting everything up, filming the video, fixing things, whatnot. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this all, and thank you, Jay, for having me. Thank you, SellYourMac.com, for that great deal on that broken MacBook. And thank you, Dylan Disselkoen, for selling the other broken MacBook to me to make one working one. So yeah. You know, once again, thank you, Jay, for having me. And that's about it. Thank you guys for watching, and this has been a Retke Mods video. We're recording.
We are. That's what a thumbs up means.
And you're nasally sound.
I'm nasally very sound.
So you're not going to snort?
No.
You sure?
No.
I'm thinking about last time.
Dude, we're 20 seconds in.
I know.
Already?
I know. What? I've got to clear my throat. Even flashing a SATA card and him fixing my new MacBook Pro. So, anyway, I'm, yeah, let's start again. My mind just kind of faded off there.
Hold on.
What?
This thing is so tiny, I'm getting a cramp.
Get smaller hands then.
Who designed this?
It was probably meant for like teenagers or something. Let's try this again. I look good in frame?
Never.
Never? Okay. Okay. Hello. Just choked on my own spit. You already can't keep it together. Hello, I'm Greg Retke. Jay, stop that.
I didn't do it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. We recording?
We are?
We are. You sure?
I am.
Okay.
Are you?
What do you mean am I? You're the one holding the camera. Oh!
Oh! Damn.
Mm. Oh!
Can you stop doing that? Jesus. I'm not going to carry you to the car.
It sucks to be flat-footed. Okay.
My turn.
Okay, are we recording?
Of course we are.
You recorded all that?
It's up to you if you're going to use it or not.
I guess I'll have to. Ready? Ready? Ow! That's the hand I broke.
You broke your hand?
Yeah. When I started the channel back up, the first like 5-10 videos I filmed in the first Mac Pro series season, this thing was in a cast. So I was...
What did you do?
I don't even remember how I filmed. And that's before all the camera mounts and stuff.
How'd you break it?
Let's not talk about that on camera. Okay. What was I talking about?
How you broke your hand?
No. Okay. Okay. I can't talk now. Okay. What was I talking about?
Oh my god. The CPU card.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay, so before we go back... Okay, so before we go to our next Mac here, I thought...
Should I grab a seat?
No. Okay. Now you're making me laugh. Stop that, Jay. Swapping the board from that MacBook into this case. This case is completely equipped. It's a fully functional. It's going to be a weird cut break there. I'm not restarting now. It's a fully functional Mac. Here's the system. Let's quickly watch that time lapse. It's going to be another weird break. Let's quickly watch that time lapse video and then we'll get on to this. So let's go. Okay, welcome back.
Wait, dude, this shit's getting heavy. Take it.
Put it down. Oh, chest cramp. Okay.
That's a thing?
Yeah, if I laugh too hard.
Okay.
Ow. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, you want to do the talking. Yeah. Yeah, you know you want to do the
I'm
talking.
good.
Come on, man. It's the last section. It's like, this is the part where you talk, because it's your system.
There's nothing to talk about. You power it on. You show that the SATA card is working. Roll credits. Right?
Oh, man up.
Alright.
Are we filming?
Yeah, we've been filming.
We've been filming the whole time.
I was waiting for you to get another foot cramp. Start dancing around.
Okay. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You sure?
I'm sure.
You're sure?
Mm-hmm.
Am I ready?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're good. Okay. I just realized something. You're missing a latching clip there.
There's what?
Your locking tray's broken, Jay.
Oh, I know that.
What do you mean you know that?
I'm the one that broke it. Of course I know.
How'd you break it?
That thing was brittle as a whole.
Drop it?
No. It just broke off when I removed it.
Well, of course it broke off when you removed it.
Funny. Let's do this.
Okay. All right. You all sturdy, stable, not
Yep.
going to snort.
Nope, it's not happening.
No?
Nope.
That was really funny in that video. I'm never going to get over that, man.
And it's never gonna happen again.
Bullshit.
You don't mind ghettoing it up a little?
I don't care. That works.
Genius Bar certified.
Yeah, no kidding. That should work. Okay. 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 Alright. Alright, ready? Okay. Okay.
Are you?
Okay. 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 Okay, are we recording?
Of course.
Okay. Ready? Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay. Okay. Okay. Okay. Okay. Okay. Okay. Okay. Okay. Okay. Okay. Okay. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you guys for watching, and this has been a Redkey Mods video.